Okay, students, are we good to start? How many of you are there? Okay, I'll start off with the class, okay? Okay, students, I'll start with my screen sharing, okay? So, is my screen visible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so in the previous class, we discussed on image enhancement in spatial domain, right? So, do you remember the topics, guys? So, we discussed on these topics, that is point processing, then basic gray level transformations and types of gray level transformations, right? So do you remember these topics? What is point processing? Do you remember? Why do we use point processing? Do you remember the previous sessions?
To enhance the image.
Okay, to enhance the image. Okay, that is point processing. Fine. Then what is linear transformation? Why do we use linear transformation? That is basically, we have three types of basic level transformations, right? That is linear transformation, log transformation and power law transformation. Okay, so linear transformation, then log, then under linear transformation we have negative and identity transformation. Okay, then log transformation, and under power law transformation we have these types, that is piecewise, contrast, intensity and bit plane. Okay, so then do you remember what is negative transformation? What is negative transformation or negative of an image? It is nothing but
Black to white, white to black.
black to white, white to black. That is, darker pixels are replaced with lighter pixels and lighter pixels are replaced with the darker ones. Yes. Then what is log transformation? Okay, what is the formula for negative transformation that we use?
S equal to L minus 1 minus R.
Okay, fine, correct. And what is L? Capital L? What is small s? What is small r? Capital L is nothing but hmm? Yes.
Small r is the intensity level.
Yes, intensity level of
Image.
which image? Input image, output image.
Output.
R is for input image, S is for output image, okay? And capital L is the maximum gray level value, okay? Okay, then what is log transformation? What is the formula that we use for log transformation? Acha, what is small s equals to capital T of small r? Do you remember this equation? लॉग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या है?
Ma'am, log transformation is it expand the values of darker pixel and compress values of bright pixel.
Okay, correct. And log transformation equation for describing log transformation is this, right? That is small s equals to small c log of r plus 1, right? Here, see, equations are almost the same for all the transformations because basically we are talking about gray level transformations and its functions, right? So basically all of the transformations and their functions are almost the same. Only thing is that when we describe a particular function, so for that function, this s equals to capital T of r, that equation keeps on changing. So for log transformation, we add simply one log function and a constant of c. Okay. Then what is power law transformation? Acha, what is inverse log transformation? Remember inverse log? Inverse log transformation is just the opposite of log transformation, right? Okay, I have not included these programs for MATLAB. I think I should include now so that you people can remember. Okay, what is power law transformation? See, power law transformation is nothing but it is also used for enhancing different types of display devices of images, right? Where small s equals to small c into small r to the power of gamma, right? And what is this gamma used for in power law equation? R is the input image, right? That is intensity value of input image. S is the intensity value of output image, right? And gamma is nothing but, see, when we are talking about log transformation and power law transformation, if you are asked to differentiate between these two types of transformation, then users, they prefer power law transformation over log transformation because power law transformation has one special property of this variable, that is gamma. Why? Because we can we can change the value of this gamma for enhancing the property of the image, that is for enhancing the quality of the image. And this gamma correction, this is not available in log transformation. Okay, so gamma, this you can decrease or increase the value, that is you can keep on varying the value of gamma to enhance the quality of the image, and this property is known as the gamma correction. Okay, so in exam, like most of the times you can get this question that differentiate between log transformation and power law transformation, that is what is the main difference between log transformation and power law transformation. Then you can simply write the equations for both the transformations and then you can differentiate using these equations. Okay, then what is piecewise linear transformation? Piecewise linear transformation, again it is divided into three types, right? That is contrast stretching, intensity and bit plane. Yes. So what is contrast stretching? Remember what is contrast stretching? Why do we use this concept in image? This is just a revision class, okay? I'm just trying to ask you if you have cleared your doubts. If you have any
I
doubts.
mean, contrast stretching, it expands the range of the intensity level of an image.
Yes, it expands the intensity value of the image. That is the pixels of the image. Then what is intensity level? Intensity level slicing, remember? See, intensity level slicing and bit plane slicing also, these two terms are almost the same. But in intensity level slicing, what happens is, we have a gray level slicing function in it, which emphasizes either a group intensity or it diminishes, that is it deletes all other group of gray levels. That is, it only emphasizes on a particular group of intensity value of pixels in an image. Okay. Then what is bit plane slicing? Bit plane slicing is also considered to be a stack of binary images. That is, we use bit plane slicing in case of binary, mostly in case of binary images. And binary image means values of zeros and ones, right? Binary image is described with the values of zeros and ones. So in bit plane slicing, we spoke on some plane levels, right? Remember, that is from 0 to 7, 7 bit plane 7 being the most significant bit and bit plane 0 being the least significant bit. Remember this? So when we keep on, like when we try to display the images in terms of bit planes, say this is the original image, then this is bit plane 7, this is 6, this is 4, this is 1. So see, variations in the image when we talk in terms of bit plane slicing. Okay, that is, it is talking about a stack of binary images. So these are a stack of binary images in the form of bit planes or planes, plane levels. Yes. So do you remember these terms now? If you remember these terms, then I can go on with my next topic, that is histogram processing. Okay, that is, these all terms are associated with each other. So if you can relate with one term, you can relate with the other term as well. So you have to keep in mind all the terms. Okay. Okay, so this was about gray level transformation and its examples. Okay, so today we go on to the next topic, that is histogram processing. Okay, histogram processing, that is, we will talk about histogram processing, histogram equalization and histogram stretching. Okay, these are the contents. So basically we will talk on histogram. So what is a histogram? What do you understand by the term histogram? So this is an image in front of you. So what do you get? What information can you get it from here? Yes? Can anyone tell me? So this is simply a graph, right? Guys? Isn't this simply a graph? Yes. So what is this graph? Okay. So what is this graph depicting? It is depicting, that is, we have tell.
It indicating the frequency occurring.
Yes, that is, it is stating occurrence of events, taking into account the frequency of occurrence of the event, right? So histogram is nothing but it is a form of a graph where we have x-axis and y-axis, and x-axis here denotes the number of events and y-axis just relates to the frequency of occurrence of these events. Okay, so this is histogram. Simply you can say it is a diagram which consists of some rectangles whose area is proportional to the frequency of a variable and whose width is equal to the class interval. Okay, so this is about a histogram. Then histogram is nothing but it provides a global description of images and their appearance. Okay, then why we use histogram of images? See, we are talking about a lot of qualities of image, right? That is image enhancement, image compression, segmentation and all. But why we are talking, okay, one sec, huh? Divya, Tafazul, could you join? Could you guys join? Divya and Tafazul, could you join? I just admitted you people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So, why we use histogram processing? Because histogram, it will describe the number of events it occurs in an image, and also it describes the frequency of occurrence of those events. That is, a huge amount of information is obtained just by looking at the histogram of an image. Okay, then it is saying it is a spatial domain technique. Okay guys, what is a spatial domain technique? Do you remember this term? Spatial domain technique means what? Spatial domain, this technique, it applies directly on pixels of an image, right? That is, the process value for the current pixel, it depends on both the current pixel value as well as the surrounding pixels. Yes, that is known as a spatial domain technique, remember? Then it is saying that histogram of image, it represents the relative frequency of occurrence of various gray levels. That is, these are nothing but these are occurrence of various gray levels or intensity value of pixels of an image. Okay, then histogram, it can be plotted in two ways. Okay, we have two ways for plotting a histogram. That is, the first method is, see, you are using the axis. Here we are using the x and the y axis, where x axis represents the gray levels of the image and y axis represents the number of pixels each gray level will represent. Okay, so suppose this is the gray level, we are representing these gray levels in x axis from 0 to 6. Okay, that is, we have total 7 gray levels in this image. Okay, then what is this y-axis trying to depict? This is nothing but it is trying to depict the total number of pixels in each gray level. That is, say for 0 gray level we have total number of pixels of 40. So 0 is depicting 40 number of pixels. Then gray level 1 is depicting 20 number of pixels, for 2 10, for 3 15, for 4 10, then for 5 3, and for 6 2. Okay, and here the number of pixels, it is denoted by simply small n of k. Okay, so this is the first method. Okay, this is the first method to describe processing of a histogram or plotting of a histogram for a particular image, where we have gray levels. Here we have taken, see, gray levels will be having different levels for gray. Okay, different gray level images we will have. For this image we are taking from 0 to 6, that is, we have total 7 gray levels. Okay, then here this is the second method. So second method is nothing but, again, x-axis represents gray levels, but this time the y-axis, it represents the probability of occurrence of gray levels. Okay, so in the previous method, y-axis, it only denoted the total number of pixels each gray level will have, but in the second method we have same thing, but only that it is not describing the number of pixels, but it is describing the probability of occurrence of the pixels for each gray level. So same thing, same image, we are taking gray levels from 0 to 6. So here how we will calculate the probability is we are denoting probability of occurrence by the term mu k. Okay, mu k, where mu k is calculated with the help of total number of pixels in the gray level, kth gray level, nk, that is kth gray level. So number of pixels in the kth gray level by the total number of pixels in the image. So taking the previous image itself, so we have gray levels from 0 to 6, and total number of pixels, when we total these, we have 40 plus 20 till 2 is equals to 100. Okay, so probability here will be n of k, that is, say for gray level 0 we will calculate nk by n, that is, here nk is 40. Total number of pixels for gray level 0 is 40, so 40 divided by total number of pixels, that is 100. So total number of pixels for gray level divided by total number of overall pixels, that is 40 by 100, gives probability of 0.4. So same thing again for gray level 1, 20 by 100, which gives 0.2. Again for gray level 2, 10 by 100, which gives probability of 0.1. For gray level 3, 0.15, for gray level 4, 0.1, for gray level 5, 0.03, and for gray level 6, 0.02. Okay, so this is the second method. So we have second method as it is counting the probability of occurrence of gray levels. Okay, then why do we use histogram processing? Okay, but we have two types of histogram processing, that is, first is taking the total number of pixels, and second method is taking the frequency of, that is, taking the probability of occurrence of the pixels. But the users frequently use the second method, because in second method we get the maximum value plotted will always be 1. Okay, so when we are plotting a graph, the maximum value we get when we plot using histogram processing is always 1. So the user is never like what to say, when they try to plot the graph taking the histogram processing, they'll always get a maximum value of 1. Okay, so that's why the users they always use the histogram processing using the second method, and where the white plotting describes 1 and the black plotting, it describes a value of 0. So when you look at this histogram processing images, you get a great deal of information just by looking at these histograms. Okay, so these are type of histograms, that is, the first is a dark image, the second is a bright image, third is a low contrast image, and the fourth is an equalized image. So what we understand by these terms is, this is a dark image. Okay, so this is a dark image, so the histogram processing appears in this form. Okay, calculations will be made, so this is just the output of a dark image, this is the output of a bright image, this is the output of a low contrast image, and this is the output of an equalized image. So when we perform these type of images using histogram processing of the second method, what we see is the last graph, it represents the best method, that is the best image, that is the equalized image. Why? Because it is a high contrast image. It is a high contrast image, that is, in other words, it is in increasing dynamic range. That is, equalized image means the intensity level of the value of the pixels is being distributed equally. It is equally distributed in this processing. So this is an equalized image, and the aim here is to transform the other three, that is the dark image, the bright image, and the low contrast image also to equalized image. Okay, so then how do we describe this histogram processing? The second method can also be described with the help of histogram stretching. So in histogram stretching we talk about linear stretching. Okay, so what do we understand by linear stretching? So linear stretching is nothing but, suppose we are given two graphs over here. So we want, this is the input and this is the output. Okay, so what we try to do using this linear stretching is that we actually don't try to change the basic shape. Okay, we don't try to change the basic shape. We just try to make some changes, like we just try to stretch the image. That is, we just try to stretch the intensity level of the image. Okay, so output is actually the same, only thing is that it is trying to stretch the input image in the output. Okay, so for linear stretching we use a basic equation, and basic equation is nothing but it is a straight line, equation of a straight line having a slope. Okay, equation of a straight line having a slope. So what is a slope of a straight line? So do you remember that? M equals to y by x. Do you remember this term? Yes? Okay, so simply this is a basic equation of a straight line, that is S max. So suppose this is S max minus S min, that is output by input, that is S max minus S min by R max minus R min, where S and R are nothing but S max is the maximum gray level of output image, S min is the minimum gray level of output image, and R max and R min are the maximum gray level of the input, maximum and minimum gray level of the input image respectively. Okay, then so this is about linear stretching, that is you simply equate it using the equation of a straight line having a slope. So we'll see this in our next slides. So next is this, so histogram processing using linear stretching. So this is the slope of equation of a straight line. So here they are using a simple equation as S equals to T of R. So this is our normal equation, that is we are performing a transformation function on the input image to get the output image, right? So this function is again this is expanded to S max minus S min by R max minus R min. So this is the slope, this is simply the slope into R minus R minimum plus S minimum. So we'll see this in our next slides. Okay, so here suppose, okay, so today we'll do a sum. Okay, I'll do a sum, I'll explain a sum, and also I'll let you also do a sum. Okay, so suppose here we have a sum of performing histogram stretching on an input image, that is on an existing image, so that the new image has a dynamic range of 0 to 7. Okay, so here we are given number of pixels as this and gray levels as this. So here see we have 8 gray levels here, that is 0 to 7. So total number of gray levels we have is still, we have 8 gray levels, and number of pixels denoted for each gray level is also different. Okay, so how do we calculate how do we perform histogram stretching on the new image? So this is the solution. Okay, so solution is nothing but it's already given, that is here this is fixed. Okay, so R minimum is given as 2, R maximum is given as 6, S minimum as 0, and S maximum as 7. Okay, actually we need a board, a chalk, we need a marker to explain all this, but just bear with me. Okay, just try to understand this in this, otherwise we don't have any solution for this. Okay, so these values are already given, that is R minimum, R maximum, S minimum as S maximum. So put these values in this equation, that is the slope of the equation. So what is slope? Y by x, that is S by R, and S is nothing, S maximum by S minimum, okay, by R max minus R min. So put these values in this equation. So when we put this values, so S max minus S min means 7 minus 0. Okay, R max minus R min is 6 minus 2. So 7 minus 0 is 7, 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay, so 7 by 4 is equals to 1.75. Okay guys, kindly take a pen and a paper and kindly jot down this sum. Okay, kindly take down this sum, because after this I'll give you another sum to equate. Okay, So just take down this sum. Just normally you take it down, okay, and just calculate it accordingly, so that you get the result on your own. Just take your mobile, just take out the calculator. This is just a simple sum, okay. So just take out your mobile and all, and take down this sum. So what happens? Slope we get is 1.75, but we use another equation here, remember, that is we expanded this equation to this, that is S max minus S min by R max minus R min into R minus R minimum. Okay, take down this equation as well, okay. Did you take down this equation, guys? Have you all taken down this equation? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one more minute I'll give. Just take it down fast. Okay, don't confuse this. Okay, this is S max minus S min by R max minus R min into R minus R minimum plus S minimum. Okay. Okay, have you taken down this equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you take down this equation and now you equate this. So slope we already know. Now use this equation in this. So 7 by 4, this is S max minus S min by R max minus R min into R minus 2. So here we have to calculate this small r. Okay, we have to calculate this small r. So small r minus, that is, what is the equation? Minus 2, that is r minus r minimum, that is r minus 2 plus 0. Okay, for this just plus 0 is nothing, just discard this value. So just take this thing, that is just take this equation now. Okay, simply take this. Okay, so take this. Now try to equate this. So what we have is r, we have to equate r taking this equation of S. Okay, so draw this table and take this as, we have r from minimum to maximum of 2 to 6, right? So we will calculate accordingly. So when r equals to 2, what is the value of S here? So simply put the value of r equals to 2 in this equation, that is this. So when we put r equals to 2 in this equation, we get S equals to 0. Then when we keep r equals to 3 in this equation, we get 2. When we get r equals to, when we put r value of r equals to 4 in this equation, we get 4. For r equals to 5, we get 5. And for r equals to 6, we get 7. So try to calculate this accordingly. You'll get these values, okay? And I'm rounding it off because we can't keep this decimal numbers in a graph. So I'm just rounding it off, okay? So did you calculate this? Guys, did you calculate it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So did you get these values?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So this equation, that is this sum, is correct, right? So this is nothing but we just tried to calculate R using the equation of S. Okay. Now what we do is, actually I have another sum, but we have only 5 minutes left, so that sum is this. Okay guys, just take down the sum. I'll explain it accordingly. Just take down this sum. This is a very easy sum. This is actually a very important sum. This comes for 10 marks in your exam. Okay, that is equalize the given histogram. Just take it down fast because the meeting is about to end. Did you take down the sum, guys?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay. I'll simply explain you this fast. Okay. So this sum is regarding gray levels, and total number of pixels is already given here. So what we have to do is we have to transform this. This is the original image. We have to get a modified image from this. Okay, that is this is actually a this is almost a high contrast image, but we have to get an equalized image from this. Okay, so this is the solution for this. Okay, I'll give you the PPT and I'll explain. So this is nothing but gray levels 0 to 7. So these are total number of pixels. So we already know total number of pixels overall is, when we calculate all these pixels, this is total rounds to 4096. Then probability, this is probability function, that is P of RK, that is P of RK, that is gray level. So how we get these values is simply by total number of pixels of the particular gray level by total number of pixels. Yes, so suppose for gray level 0 is 790 by 4096, we get 0.19. Simply again 1023 divided by 4096, we get 0.25. So similarly, when we calculate it till 7th gray level, we get it as 0.02. Okay, then this is cumulative distribution function. Cumulative distribution function is nothing but, suppose for cumulative for gray level is 0.19. Okay, for gray level 1, you simply add the probability distribution function with the previous cumulative distribution function, that is PDF of gray level 1 plus CDF of gray level 0. So you get 0.44. Again for gray level 2, you get as 0.21 plus 0.44, so 0.65. Again similarly for gray level 3, 0.16 plus 0.65. So total you get it in this way. Okay, and this is for gray level, that is L minus 1 into cumulative distribution function. So this is nothing but L minus 1 means what? we have total 8 gray levels, right? So 0 to 7, that is 8. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So 7 into, say for gray level 1, CDF is 0.19. So 7 into 0.19 is 1.33. Again 7 into 0.44 is 3.08. Again 7 into 0.65 is 4.5.